What's up? What is up, everybody? Surprise! Dominical Renz here from Katella Chronicles, filling in tonight for the one and only Todd Fox here on the ToddFox Postgame Show. Now, last minute substitution had to come in here on a Friday. Todd had some personal family matter that he had to get to tonight. Don't worry, nothing bad. It's all positive. He will be back on the show tomorrow to give you all that info about it. But myself, Dominical Renz from Katella Chronicles, live from my studio, aka my home, here in SoCal, to bring you tonight's Halos in the Infield, the Todd Fox post-game show, filling in for tonight. So how's things going to go tonight? Well, you see me during the post-game show when I'm at the Todd Fox studios, like Monday when the Angels beat the Yankees. I was able to be there and interact with you guys. Well, tonight, it's going to be the same exact thing. We're going to run through the game. We're going to go through a lot of your comments and questions. We'll give the Stamos Award away. We're going to give you the Nacho Night Award away as well. The one difference between this post-game show and what Todd typically does is I don't have the beautiful soundboard. I don't get the beautiful Stamos and Nacho Night videos. So this is basically an all-natural broadcast of the Todd Fox post-game show tonight. He let me know about, I'd say maybe 30, 45 minutes ago, like, hey, can you make it on there? And I said, sure, let's go be with the fans on a Friday night for a victory as well. 4 in a row for the Angels. After sweeping the Yankees, we were hoping the day off wouldn't hurt us. And boy, oh boy, the bats came to play today. It was like a home run derby at the Big A. Maybe it's the summer heat that's going on in SoCal, but all good things from the Angels tonight in an 8-5 series opening victory against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Once again, if you're just tuning in here to the Todd Fox postgame show, I don't look like Todd Fox, and that's not a bad thing, but Dominic Lorenz from Katella Chronicles here with you guys tonight, filling in for Todd Fox. He had a personal family matter that he had to get to tonight. He'll describe it to you tomorrow, but I will let you know it's nothing bad. It's all positive, but he will let you guys know about it tomorrow. But with all that being said, again, it's an all-natural broadcast tonight of the postgame show. So let's dive on into it. The comments are already flooding in. And Jose, I'm going to address your comment first tonight. What happened to Ohtani? Well, it was very weird. You know, he's had some very good games on the mound this year, but the first couple of innings, he had it tonight, but his one kryptonite that he's been really having a fight against this year was allowing opposing home runs. And the Pirates got to him early. It was a little bit weird that the Angels were struggling to get a hit off the Pirates pitching staff because they have one of the worst National League pitchers in the starting rotation-wise, ERA-wise, in baseball. And Oviedo was doing a terrific job of limiting the Angels to 0 hits through 3+ innings. It wasn't until relatively so the bottom of the 4th inning when the Angels got about 5 runs on a bunch of home runs that really opened really everything up tonight. And looking at Ohtani, he does get the win tonight. He's 8-5 on the season. He goes 6 1/3, gives up 5 runs on 6 hits, 1 walk, 9 strikeouts, but he gives up 4 home runs. Not the way you want to go. Again, that's been his kryptonite this year, has been the long ball. And the opposing teams, if it's the sweeper, if it's missing on the splitter, or just the fastball left up in the zone, really, it's been very tough for Ohtani this season on the mound to limit home runs. Everything else, he strikes out a bunch of batters, but it's the home runs that I'm not really digging right now. And I can tell you we'll get into a little more of that later on here in the post-game show. But let's go through it with you right now as we kick things off. Final score tonight, Angels 8, Pirates 5. It was a good Friday night to be out at the Big A. Let me know if you guys were at the stadium tonight for the Fanny Pack giveaway, the first of 3 throwback games here on Throwback Weekend. Again, not in the Todd Fox studios tonight, so we're running the post-game show a little bit different. So if I don't get to your comments as fast, bear with me. I'm going to do my best I can do with you on that. Cesar Lopez saying 4 games in a row. That is right, Cesar. 4 games in a row, sweeping the Yankees impressively, I might add. Who cares if the Yankees were on a downward spiral? These are the games that the Angels need to take advantage of. And they did it against the Yankees, and they started tonight against the Pittsburgh Pirates. So I'm loving it right now. Let's see right now. Big 20, yeah, probably no calls tonight. I don't have the Skype information, so bring in your comments. Since we're taking no calls tonight, if you want something to be, asked or spoken about, please put your questions and comments in the section right now on the chat. and I will do my best to get a hold of them. So that will be our kind of DMing way of doing phone calls tonight with me. Let's see what we got right now. The Pirates did walk the plank tonight, Anna. Yes, they did. It goes on in the title. If you look right now, ToddFox Show, the Angels make the Pirates walk the plank. It was a little sketchy early in the top of the fourth after a couple of home runs from the Pirates, but the offense gets into it in the bottom of the fourth. And on that note, let's just do a little game recap right now. Pirates get after a shutout baseball through the first 3 innings, starters Ohtani and Oviedo did a good job of limiting everything that both teams were trying to do. But it was the top of the fourth inning when the Pirates got on the board first. G-Man Choi, former Angel, hits a home run, his 5th of the year. And then Henry Davis gets his 3rd of the year. 2-0 Pirates after the top of the fourth inning. But it was the bottom of the fourth where the Angels got things going. 1 on, nobody out. Who else? Mickey Moniak. Hey, Mickey, you're so fine. He gets his 13th double of the year. And the Angels get on the board for the first time. It's 2-1. Mickey has been such an important element of this Angels lineup, not only because, well, Mike Trout's out right now, but with Hunter Renfroe kind of hitting I don't want to call it a downward spiral, but he just hasn't been the same player in the rest of the season that he was in April. And with Taylor Ward kind of starting slow, but he's picking it up now. And with Joe Adele going on the shelf again with the oblique strain, Mickey Moniak has settled himself perfectly into this Angels lineup, into the defensive mindset, and pretty much the young core that will help move this Angel team into the future. The Angels continue getting runs in the bottom of the fourth on the new leader, Mike Moustakas. Moustakas cranking out his 9th home run of the year on a 3-run bomb in a right field, scoring in Moniak and Ward. 4-2 Angels at that point. And why not sprinkle in some more love for the rookie, Trey Cabbage, getting his first big league bomb. Impressive. 448 feet, 112.8 off the bat, exit velo. Just a great celebratory moment for him to kind of put the kabuta on, even though it was kind of tilted because it didn't fit his big Cabbage head. But hey, you take the dingers when you can get them. 2 in 1 inning, and the Angels have a 5-2 lead after 4 innings of play. So far, so good when you look at it from that angle. Unfortunately, in the 5th, Ohtani gives up another home run. This time, it's outfielder Jack Zawinski's 2-run home run, his 20th of the season. Now, a fun fact about Pirates outfielder Jack Zawinski. I actually know the guy. When I was working in minor league baseball in the San Diego Padres farm system, he was with the Lake Elsinore Storm high A level in 2019. Got to know him really well. He was a part of that fabric of the team in 2019. Really great kid. I love seeing him. I know we love our Angels, but it's nice to see good quality players shine at other places. And cheers to Eric Zawinski. Not Eric Zawinski. That's family members. Jack Zawinski. He's doing great things with the Pirates last year and this year. 20 bombs. What a job for a kid just 3.5, 4 years ago was at high A minor league baseball. So tip the cap to my good friend Jack Zawinski. He put the Pirates back in this game. It was 5-4, but luckily for us, as Todd always says, future captain Zach Neto, 436 feet in a left field, his 8th bomb of the year, 6-4 Angels. Taylor Ward joins the home run party with a 2-run bomb himself, scoring himself and Shohei Ohtani, 387 feet, 8-4 Angels. The Pirates added 1 more run. Henry Davis' 2nd dinger of the night, his 4th on the season, made it 8-5 Angels, but that was it. After Ohtani left the game, the Angels bullpen was rock solid. Aaron Loup, a clean 2/3 of an inning, lowering his ERA to 4.88. I will admit, and we'll talk about this more as we get in after the recap, Aaron Loup is becoming the Aaron Loup we should be accustomed to that we saw early on last season. Matt Moore comes in with a 2-strikeout clean frame, and Carlos Estevez slash him up, 22nd save of the year. He's perfect, 22 for 22. He gets 2 strikeouts, does yield a hit, but either way, zeros up on the board in the run category, and the Angels pick up the victory tonight against the Pirates by the final of 8-5. 8 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the Angels. 5 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Pirates. The Angels improved to 50-48. The Pirates fall to 42-55. The win goes to Shohei Ohtani. He's 8-5 with a 3.71 ERA. Oviedo for the Pirates picks up the loss. He's 3-11. His ERA falls to 4.77. And mentioned just moments ago, Carlos Estevez, save number 22 on the season, and his ERA drops to 2.08. Time of the game, 2 hours and 35 minutes in front of a great crowd who got their fanny pack tonight. They were buckled in and ready to go from the get-go. 40,309 at the Big A tonight. So that's pretty much the game recap. Let's take a look at some of your comments to see what is going on. I got to scroll a little bit. So give me a couple moments here. It's not like I have the luxurious ToddFox studios to go along with it, but hey, it's a Friday night. The Angels light that baby up. I'm filling in for Todd. I know he wants to be here, but he had a family emergency he had to attend to. So luckily enough, I'm here to be with you guys tonight to celebrate this Angels victory tonight. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make it 4 in a row for the Angels, and they're 2 games above 500. Let's take a look right now. Nate Hustle saying, I'm happy Detmers is starting tomorrow. That's right. Reed Detmers on the bump tomorrow against the Pittsburgh Pirates. So we'll see what he has in store. You know, Reed, looking back now at his previous game, as I pull it up here on the trusted phone, 2-6, a 4.42 ERA. On paper, doesn't look like much, but you have to take it in a sense where he has a 3.51 ERA over his last 7 starts, where he has a record of 2-1. And his last start against the Astros, he went 6 innings, gave up 4 runs on 5 hits. And that was that Saturday game, last Saturday's crazy extra inning 13-12 victory over the Astros. So looking to build on that and be even better tomorrow against a struggling Pittsburgh Pirates team who's last in the NL Central. Scrolling on through, Todd was not at the game tonight, Dan Rios. I'm not sure when he's going to be at another game. He was just working today and doing his business, but again, family emergency kind of took him away for tonight. Nate Hustles, you're going to the game tomorrow. All right. Saturday night's all right for fighting. You guys can go and enjoy the ball game. You got to tell me, you got to check into the postgame show with Todd tomorrow. Let him know you went to the game and kind of get a vibe for this team who's going to be looking for win number 5 in a row. Grillmaster, it's all positive like Roger. Hey, on Monday, Todd and I joked about this. The season starts tonight. You know, the soundboard effect that y'all love. And ever since we played that this time and we, flipped the hats around, Ohtani brought us a game-tying home run. Ever since Monday's live stream, the Angels have won 4 in a row and the off day as well. So all things looking up right now for the Angels. I know we don't like to sound Roger-esque, but one thing at a time, one game at a time. You just got to be, with the Angels right now, be as simple as possible. That's the best way for this team right now. Let's not get ahead of ourselves and just take it in stride, because every win matters at this point, especially looking at the scores throughout the league right now. And speaking of which, let's do it right now. Blue Jays leading the Mariners 2-1 in the top of the 8th inning. That game has plenty of implications in the AL Central. Also as well, as we scroll through things, Yankees beat the Kansas City Royals by the final of 5-4. So the Angels unfortunately don't get to gain a game on the Yankees tonight. Mets and Red Sox were suspended after 4.5, or in the bottom of the 4th. Mets leading 4-3 due to rain in the Boston area, so they'll finish it up as part of a doubleheader tomorrow. Cleveland Guardians defeat the Phillies by the final of 6-5. Can't believe I'm going to say this, but the Dodgers actually helped out the Angels tonight by defeating the Texas Rangers by the final of 11-5. So the Angels get to gain at least one game in the AL West standings. Twins defeat the White Sox 9-4. Astros beat the A's by the final of 6-4. So those are the scores that inhibit the Angels in the division and in the AL wild card race. So looking at it now, up to the minute standings, Angels are 8 games out of the American League West standings. And looking at the wild card right now, Tampa Bay, Houston, and Toronto occupy the 3 spots, with Boston 3 back, Yankees 3.5, and the Angels 4.5 games back, and Seattle below us at 5.5, and of course Cleveland 6 games back. So the Angels, again, with Boston playing a doubleheader tomorrow, finishing one game, playing another, and if the Angels can pick up a victory tomorrow, they could gain a nice game and a half on the Boston Red Sox tomorrow. And if the Yankees lose, the Angels could pretty much be where the Yankees are and essentially be that last team outside the bubble and continue to move in the right direction. And that's where the Angels need to be at this point, especially with the trade deadline coming up in about a week and a half. Also, some Angels W. Hayes saying Angels win beats the fanny packs. If you guys had the fanny packs, good for you. I'm not much of a fanny pack person, but I'll take an Angels W any day of the week. No doubt about it. I'm taking that dub, especially when it's 4 in a row and you're beating up teams that need to be beaten, like the Pittsburgh Pirates, and of course, like the Yankees over the last couple of days. Let's see what else we got here before we continue on. Eric coming in saying, Matt, when does the season start again? Well, the season started Monday. Monday the season started because the Angels started winning. And that's the best part about it. Winning cures all sometimes. And the Angels are doing that right now. Joey coming in saying, even when our offense is on fire, Renfroe and Rengifo look to be garbage at the plate. And this goes to what I'm saying earlier when I was talking about Mickey Moniak. It's great that he's really stepped up to the plate this season, especially after a red-hot April from Hunter Renfroe that ever since then has really slashed down. He's still batting in the 240s with double-digit home runs and more than 40 RBIs, which is great as a complementary piece, but it's nice to see other pieces of the puzzle like Cabbage, Moniak, Neto, Ward step up to the plate, especially with Mike Trout being out right now. So that's good things right now for the Angels in that sense. Taking a look at some other comments. Angels grandma checking into the mix right now. I hope this isn't Shohei Ohtani's last home game as an Angel before the trade deadline. You know what? I agree with you. I know the conversation, Angels grandma, it's going to be had in the national media for the next week and a half. That's just how the media works. It's not going to be the funnest thing for the Angels franchise, fans, and the players, but that's the nature of the business. But here's the thing. If the Angels continue to win, there's no sense of trading Shohei Ohtani. And I know a lot of people can be for trading him, against trading him. Everybody has a different opinion about it. But no matter what, Ohtani wants to win. And if the Angels can win with Shohei Ohtani, and he feels that he can be a big contributing piece to this organization, then that's what's going to matter at the end of the day. So, I'm all for Shohei Ohtani staying on. I do not want him to be gone by any means. I know the offseason is going to be an entirely different animal. But right now, the Angels have absolutely no reason to trade Shohei Ohtani. They're winning, again, one game at a time. And I hate to sound like Roger Lodge, but like us at Katella Chronicles and Todd and Fernando and everybody at Halos in the Infield, we have realism behind our honkism, which means we like to be Angel fans and we like to be honkish, but you have to take a step back and take a little realism. The Angels finish up with the Pirates tomorrow and Sunday, and then they get ready for a massive road trip that starts on Tuesday. 3 in Detroit, 3 in Toronto, and 3 in Atlanta. Detroit, even though they're near the bottom of the AL Central, you can't count them out, especially former Angel Michael Lorenzen's going to be pitching, I believe, the second game of that series, and he has been absolutely red hot this year. He's an all-star, for God's sake. So, the Angels have their work cut out there. Toronto is a team they're chasing. You're going to have to take your opportunities there. And Atlanta's the best team in the National League. You cannot take anything for granted. Take advantage of these games tomorrow and Sunday against Pittsburgh. You did it today. You swept the Yankees, which was something you had to do. And coming out of the All-Star break, the first 6 games, I said when Todd and I did the Dodger game 2 weeks ago, I said at minimum, the Angels need to go 4-2 out of that break. And they did. By sweeping the Yankees, they go 4-2. Should they have been 5-1 because they would have won Sunday against the Astros? Absolutely. But they got the job done. They've won 4 in a row. So they're 5-2 in their first 7 games back from the All-Star break, which, hey, based on where the Angels were losing 12 of 16 prior to the All-Star break, I am so glad that the Angels are on this winning pace right now. Joey checking in once again saying, since Cabbage has been called up, he's batting .333 with a home run, where Renfroe is batting .211 with 0 home runs. Very true as well. Cabbage is playing really well. He's a guy that I can see being here for a while, and that's going to be great for the Angels, especially with, kind of the highs and lows that Jared Walsh has brought to the Angels, and now he's at AAA Salt Lake, and we don't know if we're ever going to get 2021 Jared Walsh back ever again. Nothing but the best to Jared Walsh. We love him as a person. It's nothing against him. Just his playing ability was not matching maybe how we feel about him as a person, and that's tough. But if Trey Cabbage fills in that hole very well, until Drury comes back, Rendon comes back, and Trout comes back, I will say Moniak, Cabbage, and Moustakas have done an absolute fantastic job of holding down the fort, and that's what I like to see from this Halo squad. Sports news checking in saying winning streak continues. We are making the playoffs. Well, sports news, the winning streak, yes, continues, but if I had the ToddFox soundboard with me, I'd be playing the playoffs. You're talking playoffs? Hey, I would love to see the Angels in the postseason, and I'm not trying to knock them one bit, but we have to have a little realism with our honkism. It's still July. It's only the 21st. Angels are still 4.5 games back out of the wild card and 8 behind the Rangers in the division. I want the playoffs as much as all of y'all do. I want to see entertaining games in August and September that lead to the postseason. I'm game for that all day long, no matter what. But we got an uphill climb to do. You got to take care of the games you got to take care of. You're going to need to get some help here and there for some other teams. For example, Toronto's playing Seattle. It's kind of a catch-22 situation. But hey, you play Seattle in August. You play Toronto next weekend. This is the time that the Angels got to take advantage of it. So we are making the playoffs. That's the goal and that's the hope. But there's a lot of work to be done. And right now, over the last this week, Angels are proving that they have some life and they're not just going to lay down and die and not make the postseason like we've seen for the last, decade or so, especially the last 3 or 4 years combined. Whoopsie. There we go. There goes the chat going crazy on me. See, Todd talks about this all the time, how the chat jumps. It just did for me. So pardon me as I get back looking into some of your comments right now here on the ToddFox Postgame Show. Guest hosted tonight by Dominic Lorenz, myself from Katella Chronicles. Thank you for not only supporting Halos in the infield, but welcoming in myself, Katella Chronicles, with open arms to this page. It's great to be a part of this terrific group of guys and gals that run Halos in the infield. Todd and Fernando have been incredible, as well as James and Courtney and everybody else affiliated with Halos in the infield for letting myself be a part of everything that we've been doing. I want to let you guys know, for anybody that joined Todd, Fernando, and I on the live stream Monday night against the Yankees, I tip my cap to you. You guys are freaking awesome. Even if you guys didn't catch it live and you rewatched it the next day or whenever, it is now listed as the highest live stream broadcast that we have done this year. And that makes me incredibly happy. I know it makes Todd happy. It makes Fernando happy. It makes everybody happy that, we were able to be a part of your guys' fan and watching experience of the Angels and seeing that incredible walk-off victory from Michael Stefanik. It's got 966 views on YouTube right now. That is freaking awesome. So I'm hoping the next time Todd, Fernando, and I jump onto a live stream, tentatively right now, we're hoping for Tuesday, August the 1st, which is trade deadline day. We'll do a trade deadline show, have an hour break, and then we'll jump into the Angels-Braves game. That's the hope right now, that we do that, as long as, schedule is worked out. But if we can get that next game to over 1,000, man, tip of the cap to you guys. You guys are freaking awesome. Love each and every one of you. But taking a look here at some more comments before we get in some more parts about this game. We got to get the Stamos Awards. We got to get to the Nacho Night. So we're going to get into that next. Let me get to as up-to-minute comments as I possibly can. Joey, another great question. Do you think Ohtani has basically abandoned his splitter this year because it's a contract year? Great question. I don't know why Shohei Ohtani would abandon that splitter. It is deadly. It is lethal. That pitch is his out pitch. I know everybody's talking about it. It's become a big thing in baseball this year, the sweeper pitch. I am not a fan of the sweeper. I feel it's just a different name for saying a slider. Like, when you show me a sweeper and slider combo together, I feel there's maybe 1 or 2 minor tweaks to it. Ohtani needs to go with that splitter. The split gets it done. When he has that grip and he's able to work it and get it down in the zone, it is nearly an unhittable pitch. Ohtani needs to get back to that splitter. That is going to be key for him to stop giving up home runs, which has been this year's kryptonite for Shohei Ohtani. And Who knows if that affects his contract situation? I don't think so. Shohei's going to get a contract, whatever it may be. I don't think the contract plays into a part of why he's pitching the way he's pitching. But no, bring back the splitter. Get rid of put the sweeper on pause and bring back the splitter. Sports news, love the Katella Chronicles blog and the future the Angels hold. Thank you so much. I just posted on our Katella Chronicles website, www.katellachronicles.wordpress.com. If you go there now, our latest story is the Angels youth core. Neto, Ohapi, Moniak, Stefanik. Why having this young core moving forward in the future is going to be helpful with or without Shohei Ohtani. And I wrote the article in a way that the Angels keep Ohtani. You're going to have a lot of money tied up in Ohtani, Trout, and Rendon for the next 3+ years. You have these younger guys that you could lock up now that have already been a figment of this team this year and are proving their worth. Be like the Atlanta Braves. Sign them early, get them on a cheaper deal, then you don't have to worry about the salary cap later on because 3 players are going to tie up a huge chunk of money going forward. So the article is posted on Instagram, on our bio here, or on Instagram in our bio. Go to our Twitter page, @Katella_CHROM. If you're watching the stream right now, the ToddFox Postgame Show, and you haven't followed Halos in the Infield yet, well, you'd be stupid because you should be following them already. But if you haven't followed myself, Katella Chronicles, yet, go to Twitter. It's @Katella_CHRON. Go to Instagram, same handle, @Katella_CHRON, or find us on our website, katellachronicles.wordpress.com. Give it all a follow. We're under the Heedy umbrella. We are all as one. So please, if you haven't done it already, I would tip my cap to you in appreciation here on a Friday night. Giovanni Perez, great. Honkism plus realism, baby. That's what it's all about. We love our Angels. You got to have a little realism, especially with Artie Moreno as our owner and the tough luck that we have sometimes. So just temper expectations, but still hope for the best case scenario. And right now, with a 4-game winning streak, we are exceeding in that. Taking a look at some other comments right now. We'll take a pause on the comments right now. Let's take a look and get you tonight's Stamos Award tonight. Now, no, I'm filling in for Todd tonight. I'm not in the studio. I'm in my quote-unquote studio here at my house. So I am home doing this for you guys tonight. I was at the movies today. Sidebar, went and saw Oppenheimer. Very good film if you're into Christopher Nolan movies. And that was coming off seeing Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning 1 on opening day. It came out last week. If you need summer movie recommendations, sidebar from baseball, because, I love country music. I love movies. Here's my little disclaimer. Go see Mission Impossible. Go see Oppenheimer. And if you're a country music fan, go listen to Chris Stapleton's new song, White Horse. There's just my Friday night recommendations to you if you were asking. You didn't have to ask. I'm just going to tell you anyway because that's just how we roll here at Katella Chronicles and Halos in the Infield. We're all a part of something here. So I thought I'd give you my recommendations. Oppenheimer, Mission Impossible, and go check out, if you're a country music fan, Chris Stapleton's new song, White Horse. But they don't sponsor us. That's just a funny fact. Before we get into the Stamos and Nacho Night Awards tonight, don't forget, Halos in the Infield is sponsored by 2 great people. And because Katella Chronicles is under that family, we get the benefits as well. 714 tickets, 714 tickets, 714 tickets. They have been a terrific sponsor this year. Use the code HEETY, HITI, at checkout. You'll get percentage off your tickets. You get entered into a raffle for a jersey, and you get money back in your account. It's a win-win. And it doesn't have to be just for Angel tickets. It could be Ducks tickets in the fall. It could be football tickets this fall and winter as well. Basketball tickets, theater tickets, concert tickets, any tickets that you need, go to 714 Tickets. You can give them a call or go online, 714 Tickets. And don't forget about Noble Ale Works, one of the best breweries I've been to, man, across the street from Angel Stadium off Katella and Sinclair. You can park there for free. You can walk to the game. Or if you don't have tickets to the game because you didn't call 714 Tickets ahead of time, you can watch the Angel game live at Noble Ale Works. Todd has done a fantastic job, as well as Fernando and the whole crew, getting the sponsorship on board. They were very supportive of the tailgate in July. They're being supportive in a bunch of other ways this season. So give 714 Tickets a follow, a call, get your tickets from them. Go to Noble Ale Works for your beer loving stuff. You can get a bunch of deals when you go to Noble Ale Works and you mention Halos in the Infield. So do that as well. So, advertising off the way. Let's go and get into the Stamos Awards tonight. Here we go. Who is getting some Stamos Awards for the Angels tonight? Well, I'm going to give a couple out tonight. It's got to be, one of them's got to be Trey Cabbage. Yes, he was 1 for 3, 333 average, but that one hit, his first major league career home run. Congratulations to Trey Cabbage. He's been waiting for that for a long time. He has shown pop. He has shown defense. He has shown a little bit of everything for the Angels in the week and a half, 2 weeks that he's been up. So Golden Stamos number 1 goes to Trey Cabbage. Golden Stamos number 2 tonight, Mike Moustakas. Moustakas on the board. His leadership quality has come up big for the Angels so far over the last couple of weeks. He drills a 3-run home run. Boy, oh boy, Mike Moustakas, you got to give love to the guy. I know a lot of people are questioning his abilities as an older age player, a veteran, but he is being extremely solid to this Angels team right now, and there's no doubt about it that he deserves to be in a starting spot as we continue to go on the rest of the season. If it's at first, if it's at third, however he needs to be in the lineup, Mike Moustakas is an integral part of this Angels team, and he's only been here just about a month almost. So Moustakas gets a second. And looking at another one, I'll go again, as always, because Katella Chronicles does Angels and Ducks. Let's go for the hat trick tonight. Cabbage, Moustakas, and I'm going to give some love to, let's go Taylor Ward. Taylor Ward, 2 RBIs on the night, scored twice. He has really been coming up lately. I think we've all been very hard on Taylor Ward lately. He's batting .249 with 12 home runs and 40 RBIs this year. But he has been rock solid in his last 7 games. A .321 average, 3 home runs, 9 RBIs. You break out the scope a little more. In 15 games, a .294 average with 3 home runs and 10 RBIs. So Taylor Ward gets the third and final Golden Stamos Award tonight. Cabbage, Moustakas, and Ward, there you have it. That is your Golden Stamos Award of the night. Now, if we're all hungry, it's nighttime, we all like our midnight munchie meal or the Valley Sports theme song. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. I don't have the score. I don't have the soundboard tonight, but we got to make it happen some way, shape, or form. I don't sing great, but we will mention it. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. But taking a look tonight at the Nacho Award time. Nacho Award, you got to look it over for the Pittsburgh Pirates. And taking a look at they had, boy, oh boy, they had some good offensive moments, but I think I'm going to have to give it to just 2 players tonight. We'll give it to 2 players on the Pittsburgh Pirates. First off, their third baseman, and I'm going to get here. He had 3 strikeouts on the night. He only has 65 at-bats this season, so he's a newer player for the Pittsburgh Pirates. But with 3 strikeouts on the night, number 19, Jared Triolo will get Nacho Night number 1. And Nacho Night number 2 will be Johan Oviedo, the starter for the Pirates tonight in 4 innings. Gave up 5 runs on 3 hits, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts, and he gave up 2 home runs, 1 to Mr. Mike Moustakas and 1 to Trey Cabbage. So there are your Nacho Nights tonight from the Pittsburgh Pirates. Triolo, and Oviedo are your 2 Nacho Nights for the Pittsburgh Pirates. But again, the Angels picking up a victory tonight by the final of 8-5. 8 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the Angels. 5 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Pirates. Ohtani gets his 8th win of the season. Oviedo loses for the 11th time. And Estevez gets save number 22. The Angels improved to 2 games over 500 at 50 and 48, while the Pirates fall to 42 and 55, dead last in the NL Central. Taking a look at some more of your comments here so far. AC, Angel Central coming on in saying, I'm going to honk and say the Ducks will barely miss the playoffs. you know, I'm digging this Ducks team for a hockey season in the fall. I know we're full-blown in baseball season right now, but the number 2 pick, Leo Carlson, I feel is going to be an extremely great player once he gets more time under his belt at the big club level. I do like where this Ducks franchise is going with their new head coach, Greg Cronin. So hopefully upward trajectory for the Ducks this season. But hey, they had a franchise worst record last year in that franchise history. So all you can go is up from there. Hayes coming in and saying, Moose, a real leader. I salute you, Hayes. That is correct. Moose calling a players-only meeting the day before the second half started. Great option right there for the Halos. He brings in that World Series mentality. He's been a leader everywhere he goes. If it's Kansas City, Milwaukee, Cincinnati, Colorado, he has done it. So cheers to Mike Moustakas. Taking a look at some other one. Dan Rios coming in saying, trade Renfroe to the Yankees. Once Trout is okay, there's no place for Renfroe. Well, it's hard to say. Renfroe has a 1-year contract with the Angels this year. Maybe he's dealt at the deadline to get some pitching back or whatever the Angels' needs are. It's going to be an interesting case scenario because Mike Trout's not going to be back by the trade deadline. So if you trade Hunter Renfroe, you're going to be essentially down an outfield spot. Now, Trey Cabbage can play the outfield. They said he can play first in the outfield, which is fine. But I just don't see the Angels trading away Hunter Renfroe. He says he wants to be here. And I know the numbers aren't great. The strikeouts are high this year, but that's one move that if maybe Mike Trout was healthy and Ward was getting hot like he is now and Moniak's doing what he's doing, then I could say maybe, hey, trade Renfroe, keep Cabbage as your first baseman, backup outfielder, and kind of roll from there. But with Trout still being out post-deadline, probably until mid to late August, depending on how his hand, the stitches are out, he's still purple in the area, and he's got to heal before swinging a bat. I just don't see that happening for the Angels right now. But I get where you're going with that one. Dan's also saying a sweeper is just a slider that goes horizontally. Correct. Like I said, a sweeper and a slider are very similar to me. It's just the angle and the path that it goes at, it's a little different. I just think the horizontal movement on that sweeper for any pitcher is not great because when it goes horizontally, there's more apt for it to be left up in the zone. And I think that's why the sweeper's being contacted so much by batters this year. And essentially for Shohei Ohtani, get back to that splitter. The splitter is what gets it going for him no matter what. We've seen it all the time. Get that splitter going in the right direction. I know there were some comments in here that the Blue Jays-Mariners game is tied at 2. Yes, hopefully we'll see how the AL wildcard race shapes up. Toronto's above us. Seattle is below us. Luckily for the Angels tonight, they are in the driver's seat with a W. So no matter what happens, the Angels are on the winning side of baseball. And that's what matters at the end of the day. But that's pretty much the Angels game tonight. There was a lot to love in this game. The home run numbers were up. The bullpen was great. Loop, Moore, Estevez. And let's talk about Aaron Loop for a minute. I know he's a guy that is kind of fluctuating on the Angels fandom scale. Some love him, some hate him. But if you really look at Aaron Loop, 31 games this year, a 1-2 record, a 4.88 ERA. And I know it hasn't looked great this year through 27 2/3 innings of work. But Aaron Loop is becoming a lefty we can begin to trust a little more over the last couple of weeks. And really since he came back from the injured list in May and looking over his last 30 games, or I should say, he's 1-1 with a 4.28 ERA in his last 30 games played. Now, again, he's only played 31 games this year, so that's pretty much all season long. If you want to look at it from a month-by-month standpoint, he was 0-1 with a 3.38 ERA in April. Then he had a horrible May with a 9 ERA that sent him on the shelf from May 4th to May 21st. But then in June, a 2.16 ERA. And so far in July, a 5.68 ERA. But that was relatively because he gave up 4 runs on July 7th against the Dodgers. And 4 runs, one of them was his fault. The other 3 were Velasquez and Taylor Ward having even though it should have been listed as an error, but they were defensive plays. That's the only thing. He has a shutout month of July if you subtract that game against the Dodgers. So, to me, Aaron Loup has been very valuable. They haven't used him too much up until very recently in the post All-Star break in more high leverage situations. And he's now been thriving, especially in the 2 games against the Yankees. He has thrived in those high level situations. So Aaron, yes, Grill Master, he has not made us feeling loopy lately, but hey, I will take whatever we can get from Aaron Loup. I think he gets some tough love sometimes, which is okay. Tough love goes around. But I really do think that Aaron Loup, if he can continue to pitch at this trajectory, he will be a valuable arm that the Angels can have in the back end of their bullpen moving forward this season, especially lefty-wise, with Matt Moore being back, Tucker Davidson as that long middle relief help. I really like what the Angels could have in those 3 lefties if Loup can continue to pitch the way he pitches. Estevez doing great work, Matt Moore doing great work. I really do think the Angels have an opportunity right now to continue their winning ways against the Pittsburgh Pirates, taking a look at tomorrow's matchup, because that's what we got to talk about now. 8-5 victory tonight. Tomorrow is 6:07 first pitch as Reed Detmers on the hill, 2-6 with a 4.42 ERA, will take on a different pitcher. It was supposed to be somebody else for the Pirates, but now it's going to be the lefty, Ryan Borucki, will be on the hill, a lefty number 43, 6'4", 210-pound, 29-year-old. In 11 games this year, he's 1-0 with a 4.63 ERA in just 11 2/3 innings of work. So a limited guy that hasn't really played much of the big leagues. He got called up in June, and his most recent start against the Cleveland Guardians on the 19th, 1 1/3 innings out of the bullpen. He has yet to make a start this year. So potentially a bullpen day for the Pittsburgh Pirates tomorrow. So, we know how Phil Nevin is when a lefty's on the hill. Does Moniak play? He should be, because he is absolutely red hot. My guess is Trey Cabbage probably gets the day off because of the whole lefty-lefty situation. So probably you're looking at Moustakas at first, Rengifo in the lineup somehow, and they should have Michael Stefanik. So knowing philosophy in the sense, I would say Rengifo at third, Neto at short, Stefanik at second, Moustakas at first, Chad Wallach behind the plate, but Matt Theis does catch Reed Detmers more often than not. Taylor Ward in left, Moniak in center, and Hunter Renfroe out in right field. So that's what it looks like. I would guess if I had to put my philosophy hat on, that would probably be the defensive lineup for the Angels tomorrow. Looking at, let's see what he says. Grillmaster saying Borucki pitched for Seattle last year. Okay, so Borucki has been in the AL West before. Sean Ireland checking in saying Shohei Ohtani said it never crossed his mind that it could have been his last start at the Big A. He said he believes the Angels are still in contention. 100% agree with Shohei Ohtani. They've won 4 in a row. I think if it was the opposite way and the Angels had lost 4 in a row, then I think we'd be groveling a little bit and knowing that the time would be ticking for Shohei Ohtani. But the Angels still got 2 big games against the Pirates before a day off on Monday and a huge 9-game road trip coming up. Take advantage of the Pirates and even take advantage of the Detroit Tigers, who are nearing the bottom of the AL Central, and even take advantage of the Toronto Blue Jays, who is somebody you're chasing in the AL wild card picture. So the Angels have a lot to do over the next week plus of games before we get to the trade deadline on Tuesday, August the 1st. Keep winning games. Win the bare minimum. The Angels have to win 2 out of 3 everywhere they go. 2 out of 3 this weekend, 2 out of 3 in Detroit, 2 out of 3 in Toronto. In the next 8 games, if you win, 2 out of 3, 5 out of your next 8, that's great. But let's go for 6 out of 2. Let's go for 7 out of 8. The Angels got to think big picture in that scenario. But Reed Detmers, he's got to get it going all night long. I think this is going to have to be a day that he really needs to get it on, because taking a look at overall Reed Detmers' numbers this season, as mentioned already, 2-6 with a 4.42 ERA in 17 starts this year, a total of 91.2 innings of work. Looking at some of his game logs in the month of July thus far, 3 games, a 1-1 record with a 7.63 ERA. The numbers are a little bloated because he gave up 7 runs against the Dodgers that final game before the All-Star break. But if you look back in June, he was 1-1 with a 2.05 ERA. And one of his best starts of the season came back-to-back, June 20th, 7 shutout innings against the Dodgers, and then followed it up against the White Sox with 7 one-run innings. So if we can get that Reed Detmers tomorrow that pitched against the Dodgers and the White Sox in back-to-back games, I think the Angels are in an excellent spot in tomorrow's game. The Pirates, again, last in the NL Central with a record of 42-55, 11 and a half games out of the division. They've lost 8 of their last 10, and the Angels got to pounce. You've got to smell blood in the water. You got to put their foot on their throat and you got to give the Pirates emotional damage. That's what you got to do. Make them hurt. Go after them early and often with runs. That's how it's going to have to be done. And you got to get dynamic pitching involved in there as well. Eric posting a good question right now. Here's an interesting question for everybody. If the Angels make it to playoff baseball in October, is that a guarantee Shohei returns? Great question, Eric. I think we all want to say yes, because that proves that the Angels are winning. And by winning, I think it's a situation where there's going to be some deliberation. I don't think Ohtani's going to make a decision very fast this offseason. I really do think that it really needs to be said how much winning means to him. And I'm a firm believer in this 100% of the way. Everybody's talking about Ohtani as $600 million, $700 million worth. I don't believe it. Not that he's not talented. I just don't think he views himself as a $700 million player. I think maybe he'll get $400 million, $450, maybe $500 million's the cap. I really don't see Shohei Ohtani being like, I'm going to play for whoever it is. I don't care if they suck for $600, $700 million. No. Ohtani wants to go to a place that can win. And I think $500 million, because Trout got $420 million, other players have gotten $450. I think $500 million is going to be that sweet spot for Shohei Ohtani, where he becomes the highest paid player because he's a two-way unicorn, but he's going to be on a competitive team. And the Angels could pay that money. They're going to have to shoot past the luxury tax, but they're going to have to be cheap in some ways. And as I mentioned earlier, check out KatellaChronicles.wordpress.com for my article that I wrote about the youth of this team. If you sign Ohtani and you have to give him that big paycheck, and Trout's still getting paid, and Rendon's still getting paid, you're going to have to find ways to be a little cheap. And you know how you're cheap? Go get Neto. Go get O'Hoppe. Go get Moniak. Go get Bachman. Get all these guys, Ben Joyce, Trey Cabbage, that are very young and have 3 to 5 years of wiggle room in their contracts. Utilize them. Or if you love them so much, put them on a youthful deal like Zach Neto. Give him a 4-year, $100-and-something million contract that keeps him here for a while, but at a cheaper rate than maybe what he could be in 4 to 5 years, maybe getting $200+ million. So you got to do what you got to do. But Ohtani, I don't think going to playoff baseball is a 100% guarantee. It strengthens the Angels' chances. Winning strengthens things. Going to the playoffs strengthens things. Every round of the playoffs you get strengthens it, but nothing is 100% guarantee at this moment. As I look at the comment section right now, everybody's checking on in saying Mariners walk off on the Blue Jays. So in a way, that does help the Angels out a little bit, because they stay above the Mariners with this win tonight, and they gain a game on the Toronto Blue Jays. That is freaking awesome. How does that affect us? Let's take a look right now. Toronto's in that last spot, so the Angels should be able to gain a half game. So Boston will be 2.5, Yankees will be 3, Angels will be 4, Mariners will be 4.5. So we still have a half game lead over the Mariners, so that's great to hear. But it just proves again how every game is important right now, especially when you're sandwiched Boston 2.5 and the Mariners are 4.5. Everybody's only separated with about 2.5 games. So you got to keep on winning. Let's see what we got here. Are the Angels better without Trout? Mike Moore says. Based on the way Mike Trout was playing before he got injured, yeah, it's true. And I hate to say it because I got as I turn around here again, not the beautiful studio that ToddFox has, but hey, I'm filling in for him tonight. We don't have the soundboard, but I'll make it happen. So Shohei Ohtani, dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. There's your Bally Sports West, okay? I give it to you, the fans. But I got my Mike Trout going on tonight in support of his rehab, kind of getting his hand back on track. Right now the Angels are proving that they're playing better with him, but in general, is having Mike Trout in your starting lineup always a positive and always a better thing? Yes, Mike Trout is still one of the best players in baseball. Everybody goes through a down, and if you think about it this way, Mike Trout's having a down year this year. Any average player in baseball would love to have his season. So I will take that any day of the week. Much love to Mike Trout. Dan Rios checking in. Definitely better without Rendon. Well, the numbers disagree with you. The Angels win more games with Rendon in the lineup than when he's without being in the lineup, which is funny to say because Rendon's out of the lineup more than he's in the lineup. So the numbers are a little bit skewed. But the Angels aren't missing him, courtesy of Mike Moustakas and Trey Cabbage and Mickey Moniak and other players that are stepping up. That's what's big about the Angels. Next man up mentality. Step up. Win. Stefanik did it on Monday. Cabbage did it. Moniak's doing it. Moustakas, who's not even a young guy, is doing it. And that's the best thing about it. Sports News checks in. What are the qualifications to work with Katella Chronicles? Well, it's a fun blog. It's not anything special. It's not a paid gig. But if you want to do a little writing, or if you want to be a part of, a podcast and be a part of the group, just DM me on Instagram, on our Instagram page at Katella_CHRON Sports News. And we can have a conversation and see what we can do. Again, nothing fantastic, just a couple of things here and there, but we're a part of the Heedy family. So if you're interested in doing some writing or doing a couple other things, DM me and we'll have a conversation and we can see where we can go from there. I'll give you that. Anna checking in. Show's not getting traded. No philosophy tonight. Pirates get emotional damage tonight. That is all correct. True, and true. Congratulations, Anna. You hit the trifecta tonight of positive comments. Let's see, what else do we got? Dan Rios, you can still trade Renfroe at the deadline, must clear waivers. I talked about this already. That is very true. I just don't see the Angels doing it. Trout's not going to be healthy before the trade deadline. If he was, then I think the odds would be a little bit higher. But I think Renfroe's here to stay this season, and who knows what the offseason. If the Angels bring back Ohtani, maybe they need to go a little bit cheaper in the outfield, and maybe Renfroe gives that hometown discount for being on the team this year and, is that cheaper option. Who knows? That's going to be Perry Manassian's job moving forward. So we'll see what happens when it comes to it at that point. So, there's a lot of good things tonight from the Angels tonight. The home run derby was on. You had home runs from Neto, Ward, Moustakas, Trey Cabbage's first career bomb. That was great to see. Shohei Ohtani looked good tonight. Did he look great or like an ace? No. 4 home runs. That's not sexy. You don't like to give up 4 home runs in a single game. But he did get 9 strikeouts, and he did go a good distance. He went 6 1/3 innings tonight. I know there's questions about the fingernail issue, if that's becoming more of a bigger prominent thing. But we hope it's for the better. Jacob Primrose entering. Was Todd at the game? No, Todd was not at the game tonight. Some of you may be checking in for the first time tonight, and you're probably looking at me and saying, well, you're not Todd. You're Dominic from Katella Chronicles. Yes, I am. I am Dominic from Katella Chronicles. But Todd was going to do the post-game show tonight, but he had a family emergency that he needed to attend to. So he messaged me about a half hour before the game ended and said, hey, do you mind going on YouTube and being with the fans tonight? And I said, no problem at all. I'm here to support. Todd will be back tomorrow. He will update you on everything that's going on with him. It's all good news, nothing bad. It's all good. He just couldn't be on the post-game show tonight. So I was gracious enough to check on in and be in with you guys now for almost an hour. Getting some steady viewers tonight. But I know you guys are very used to Todd taking calls, doing all the fun audio stuff and getting into some rants. But really, there's nothing really to rant about tonight because I'm enjoying this 4-game winning streak that the Angels are on right now. Phil Nevin has trusted his pitchers of late. He's putting together the right lineups. It's very weird to see, even though Squiddy Poo, Andrew Velasquez, is still coming in defensively late in games. But he's done nothing to harm this team this week, and we hope that continues going into tomorrow. But really nothing to rant about this team. I'm very happy. The only thing I ranted about, I think, tonight was Ohtani needs to get rid of the sweeper and just get back to that split work. Get to the splitter, utilize that. That is his best pitch. So if I have to rant about anything else tonight, Ohtani, if you're watching, the splitter. Use the splitter. And also, if you guys haven't been watching so far and you're just tuning in after the Stamos and Nacho Night Awards, it was Ward, Moustakas, and Cabbage getting the Golden Stamos Award tonight. And the Nacho Night Award went to Johan Oviedo, the starting pitcher for the Pirates, as well as their third baseman, Triolo, who went 1 for 4, but he had the hat trick of punch-outs, 3 strikeouts on the board today. But taking a look at some other stats right now, let me take a look here, see what we got. I always love giving you some food for thought nuggets because it's always great to see. We already talked about how Taylor Ward's really been stepping up his game lately. Mickey Moniak's been absolutely on fire. Ohtani has been doing his thing. Everybody else is contributing in many, many ways. Zach Neto contributing at the top of the lineup tonight. It was interesting seeing Matt Theis catch for Shohei Ohtani tonight. Normally, we've been very, very immune to Ohtani-Wallach combination. But with Wallach not hitting the ball very well and a day off yesterday, it made sense with a right-hander on the mound to put Matt Theis in there today. I think with Detmers on the bump tomorrow and a lefty on the mound, it's almost like a reverse split. Chad Wallach will probably catch tomorrow. But, interesting food for thought for anybody that looks at the lineups and kind of is matching things up at that point. Let's see what else we got. Reed Detmers tomorrow. And that's, you know what? Let's go forward thinking just a little bit. Let's go forward thinking a little bit into Sunday's matchup and everything that is to come on the road trip. The Angels, again, have Reed Detmers on the bump tomorrow. And then on Sunday, it's going to be Tyler Anderson against Pittsburgh Pirates lone all-star Mitch Keller. Keller's had a great year on the bump. So that's going to be a good, honestly, a really, really good option for the Angels to face on Sunday afternoon. It's going to be hot. The ball is going to be flying, so we're going to see how that goes down on Sunday. But tomorrow it's Reed Detmers on the bump against the lefty Borucki, the lefty bullpen arm for the Pirates. I believe it's Ryan Borucki will be on the mound. It will not be Osvaldo Bido, who we thought it was going to be already. Going into the Detroit Tigers series, it looks like Canning will pitch game 1 against Eduardo Rodriguez. Game 2, it's Patrick Sandoval against his old buddy, an ex-Angel, ex-Cal State Fullerton alum. Michael Lorenzen will be pitching Wednesday evening in Detroit for the Angel-Tiger game. And then Thursday morning, the Angels have a TBD. It could be Chase Silseth. Maybe with the Monday day off, everybody goes back into their starting rotation spot, which would be Shohei Ohtani. I don't know how they feel about pitching him on a Thursday day game in Detroit instead of Friday in Toronto. It'll be interesting to see the scenario that happens to play out. But Detroit will have their third starter, Reese Olson, on the bump as well. So that's kind of some futuristic pitching matchup for the Angels. Detmers and Anderson, Sandoval, or Canning, then Sandoval are your next 4 starters for the Angels in the rotation. I know we have much love, Grill Master, for Michael Lorenzen, but yes, we root for him on other days. But on Wednesday, and pretty much all 3 games against that Detroit Tigers series, we're going to have to put the thumbs down on that one for Michael Lorenzen, just because he will be an enemy, not a friend, in Detroit. But yeah, so that's pretty much it that we got tonight for the Todd Fox post-game show tonight. Again, filling in for Todd Fox, doing as much as I can. I wish I could take calls, guys, but I don't have the number set up or Skype set up. Again, this was a quick little put-together thing within 30 minutes before before the game ended. But, you guys all came out. That's what matters the most. We get to celebrate a Friday night victory for the Halos tonight. Light that baby up 4 in a row. You sweep the Yankees, you got the brooms out, and you take game 1 against the Pirates. Reed Detmers has a big game on his hands tomorrow. The offense needs to continue to show up and show out, especially these final 2 games, to wrap up the homestand against the Pittsburgh Pirates. But until then, we'll check things out tonight here on the Todd Fox postgame show. Todd will be back tomorrow for the post-game show. Again, he had a family emergency tonight. He will dive into that with you tomorrow. But again, it's all positive things, nothing bad. So that is what matters at the end of the day. But until then, I'm Dominic Lorenz from Katella Chronicles. If you haven't done it already, check us out and give us a like and give us a follow, please, on Instagram and Twitter. That's at Katella_CHRON. And you can check out our website, katellachronicles.wordpress.com, to see our latest article, blog post that I wrote about the Angels Youth Core. That is Zach Neto, Logan O'Hoppe, Mickey Moniak, and a bunch more. So please go and check that out. For all of y'all that have supported Halos in the Infield and Katella Chronicles, I cheers to you. We have over 966 views on Monday's live stream broadcast that Todd and I did, as well as Fernando, from the Yankee game. We're going to do another one. It looks like Tuesday, August the 1st, when the Angels take on the Atlanta Braves, the penultimate game of that 9-game road trip. It's also trade deadline day. So the goal is Todd and I to be in studio with a bunch of other Heedy members on Zoom and whatso. And we're going to do a trade deadline special, probably about 2 hours before trade deadline. So about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, get you all the latest and greatest trade deadline news. Todd and I will then take an hour break, and then we'll jump into the play-by-play coverage around 4 o'clock for that game that starts at 4:20 p.m. between the Angels and the Braves. Check out both our social media channels for more information as we get closer to that date. But it looks like Tuesday, August the 1st, is going to be the next live stream broadcast partnership between Halos in the Infield and Katella Chronicles. So check that out. But thank you for your support thus far. Continue following Halos in the Infield for all your latest news, notes, and commentary, as well as Katella Chronicles as well. But for tonight, for this fabulous Friday night, I'm Dominic Lorenz from Katella Chronicles, cheering you, cheering the Halos on to another Light That Baby Up victory tonight by the final score of 8-5 over the Pittsburgh Pirates. Stamos Awards tonight: Cabbage, Moustakas, and Taylor Ward. And the Nacho Night of the Awards go to Oviedo, the starting pitcher for the Pirates, and Triolo, the third baseman, who had 3 strikeouts for the Pirates tonight. The Angels got some help a little bit tonight. Boston couldn't finish their game. The Dodgers beat the Texas Rangers. Toronto loses to Seattle. So the Angels gain a little ground in the division and the wild card. You got to continue that as we go on to see what happens. But for all y'all that checked into the chat tonight, cheers to you. And until tomorrow, when Reed Detmers takes the hill at 6:07 at the Big A, as throwback weekend continues at the Big A, I'm Dominic Lorenz from Katella Chronicles saying cheers to your Friday night. Hopefully you guys, wherever you may be, have a safe and sound Friday night. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Todd will be back tomorrow for the post-game show. He'll dive into everything Angels related. He'll probably want to catch up from night, and I'm pretty sure he'll be playing all your favorite sights and sounds on that soundboard all night long. And I think we might have to make him earn it a little bit and take a couple extra calls tomorrow as well. But until tomorrow, enjoy the rest of your Friday. Enjoy the weekend. Again, follow Katella Chronicles and Halos in the Infield for any type of commentary and anything we post about. Bring your comments. We always love you guys being a part of what we do here for Angels baseball, and especially for Katella Chronicles for Anaheim Ducks hockey as well. But until then, cheers to you guys. Happy Friday. Be well, be happy. I'm Dominic Lorenz. Cheers to you, and we'll see you next time. Cheers from Katella Chronicles and Halos in the Infield. Light that baby up. 4 in a row. Let's go. Let's go, Halos, and we'll see you next time.